So right now we want to create a project to do everything that we done for ZedBoard on the application 2 and the ZedBoard. So let's create a new project here, and we're going to call this one ZCB2CD software and line control. So RTL, so add this. We don't want to add any sources here, don't add anything. Just go for boards and ZedBoard. Finish. So right now we have our project again. This is your flow navigator. Click in project settings. I have created the IP repository folder for a reason. Whenever I need those IP blocks, all I have to do is add the IP repository to my current project. So you're going to look in this folder and say, hey, I find this 2 IPs that you already designed. Would you like to use any of each of them? Just all you have to do is add the IP repository to your project. So apply here, hit OK, and create a block design. I'm going to call this one CB2CED software control. So hit OK. So right now that this is done, we're gonna add the Zinc processing system. We wanna add also our XeGPIO, and you also wanna add your CB2CED software control. So run the block automation for the processing system. It's gonna fix the IO and the DDR. We're gonna put some outputs in there that we're not gonna use, and then we can run the connection automation here. Get the XIIs only. Leave this one blank. Hit OK. Valo will add some blocks here to do the connection between our processing system and our XeGPIO and our custom IP block. So if you regenerate your layout, you see that it's everything that he had on the very first project as well. It's the processor system reset and XI interconnects for XI peripheral. So in here we have the XeGPIO. We still want a connection. So go for boards, drag the LEDs, and release here. So if you double click here on XeGPIO right now, you should be seeing the IP configuration has a GPIO width of 8 rather than 32. That's the default value that he got. So that's okay. And right now what we want to do is go for sources, right click here and create a wrapper for your block design. So once that's done, you update the hierarchy. You should be seeing you should see the files here. So if you want to validate your design, you don't need to, because when you generate the wrapper, he does that automatically for yourself. So you want to generate the bit string, save your project before you do that, and then Vivado will generate the bitstring file necessary to program the FPGA in order for you to communicate the processor with the peripherals on the board. Something you could do in the meantime is actually check the actually I have to wait into this, but in here messages is actually everything you need to know about debugging your system. If you made a mistake or even a typo during the VHDL for your custom IP, something might pop up here if you don't synthesize in the IP packer. So something that you could keep an eye on it. Also, you can see here in design runs the progress between synthesizing and implementing the design. So I'm just gonna pause the video now and let Vivado work for a while until we got the bitstring generation complete for me. So right now the bitstring generation is completed, so open your implemented design. You should see a new tab popping up in here. Okay, so this is your implemented design. You can go for file, export hardware, include your bitstring, and then you can launch the SDK. So I'm gonna cut the video right now because on the SDK I have some explanation to do, and this might take a little while, so I'll leave the C code explanation for this part on the ZedBoard for another time.